What's up, everybody? This is Disco Demonic Hydroponic. Today, it is 4:30 in the morning now. I started this video at 4:11, and this is like my third take. But basically, I wanted to share some information. So, I've talked about I'm making a book. I'm writing a book on La Santa Muerte. I think there is a lot of belief. Everybody. I think a lot of people have many different kind of beliefs on what and who La Santa Muerte actually is. If you can work with her as an LHP practitioner, all kinds of stuff. Of course, I believe that you can. Some people say you cannot. I think that everybody has a right to believe whatever they want to believe. I don't think that anybody is wrong, or maybe I disagree with certain aspects, but that's because it's my personal relationship with her. So as I started writing the book, there are some things that I'm going to share with you right now that I wanted to wait till the book was released, but I kind of feel that if I wait for the book to be released, and I started thinking about this for the past couple of days, and I don't think that it'll reach the audience, or it's information that needs to be out there, needs to be put out there now, and I think people should start talking about it as soon as possible. I don't see the point in waiting, all right, any longer than I have to. So it's still going to be in the book. I'm still going to write the book. I'm still going to have certain things that I'm going to add in the book. The book's not going to be expensive. I'm thinking about charging $13. I'm not trying to make money off it. I just want to share the information. But also, make a little bit of money off it. Anyways, but basically, as I was writing the book, there is a belief in there's a belief that the Santa Muerte is an aspect of the Aztec death goddess Mohl-kay-yah-mah, right? So, though I feel this is true, it is not 100% all the way true. Basically, as I was working on the book, and I've held on to this idea for myself, I held on to it for quite some time. As I was working through the book, I came across a point of gnosis where I wanted to start working with Mictlantecutli, and then I was asking about Mictlantecutli. Then I was told that I could work with Mictlantecutli through La Santa Muerte as well. And then I asked, "What do you mean?" And basically, what I was shown was that Santa Muerte had aspects of Mictlantecutli as well as Mohl-kay-yah-mah in Santa Muerte. So when I asked further, basically what I was shown was that La Santa Muerte is basically like an egregoric doorway into the Aztec underworld. So you can basically work with any entity through this gateway of La Santa Muerte. And I'm going to give you a meditation on how to do that. So obviously, I didn't really know what to do. I asked several questions, and I will add that in the book how I got to this, the verifications that I used. I was given some pretty crazy verifications, and so basically, what I do now is when I connect with La Santa Muerte, I say a certain mantra. The mantra is Say-ahn-teh-peck, Mohl-kay-yah-mah. You can use this mantra for remote viewing. You can say Say-ahn-teh-peck, Mohl-kay-yah-mah, and then the person's name, kind of go into that, and you can remote view them. You can use this to, like, if I made a video before on how to draw forth someone's energetic body, you can use it to strengthen the connection between that, you and the person that you're either healing or whatever it is you're doing, whatever kind of work you're doing on them. And you can also use it to connect with this aspect of La Santa Muerte and enter into this doorway that is La Santa Muerte into the Aztec underworld. So I have done this a couple of times, and when you enter into the shadow, it's like it comes as a shadow. So you're staring, like if you have a figure of La Santa Muerte or a picture or something like that, you put it in front of you, maybe a candle or incense or whatever you want to do. I would use copal if I was you, or copal, however you say it. However you say it, I say copal. But you don't have to have a lot of fancy stuff. You don't gotta have like crazy altar. Just put it on the ground right in front of you. Have it sit down on your pillow or whatever the fuck you sit down on, and then just start saying Say-ahn-teh-peck, Mohl-kay-yah-mah, with the intention of connecting to La Santa Muerte, which is the doorway, which you will be going into. And then from there, you kind of get this essence. Like for me, I all of a sudden was inside of this huge, like empty void space where I saw Mictlantecutli, very, very large. Like La Santa Muerte was about this big, and he was like this big, like bigger than my head, like just there, sitting there, and then like Mitikatsiwat and other entities that I'm not really familiar with yet. However, the underworld, the Aztec underworld, has all kinds of different entities. You have vampiric stuff. I'm going to share a vampiric technique in my book on how to drain people's, like, do psychic energy, vampiric energy draining and stuff. Like, there's all kinds of shit you can do with this. So that's gonna that's basically how you enter into that. I checked this gnosis with several people before I actually decided that it was going to go in the book. And as I wrote the book and the excerpt, the portion where it talks about this, I shared it with other people. I verified it with several different prominent occultists. So all of them, nobody disagreed. Everybody agreed with me. And actually, I was only going to. I came across it was only Mitikatsiwet and Mictlantecuhtli were an aspect, were the connection between Santa Muerte, that they were both an aspect of Santa Muerte. And then while I was told by someone else, I'm not going to name any names here, because if they want to say something they can, and I will say who it is, but I'm not just going to put their names out there in case they don't want to be a part of this or whatever, you know. But as I asked to verify the information I was given by the other person, then I was actually shown that she is a gateway and a representative of the entire Aztec pantheon, so you could go into there and like connect with her. You know what I'm saying? Through her, you can connect with any of the entities. And like I said, it is vast. It is quite vast. If you just study the story on like the 9 levels of whenever the people die, you go through the 9 levels of to reach Mictlan. There's like different trials, and you have to do them for 4 years. There's like a whole story behind that. I let you research that if you'd like. I think anyways, I'm not going to say too much, but that's something you can do as well. But basically, you can go in and kind of start working with this whole thing by using the technique that I'm giving you. Also, I will add the words in the bottom, like just to how to pronounce them, like phonetically, in case I didn't say them clear enough for you or whatever. I don't use a sigil. You just a figure or envision her, whatever. I normally have a statue of her in front of me and a candle, and then behind her I put the incense. So and I added well back in time, I'm going to add a picture of the picture that I use, so of the actual meditation that I use. So I'll put that as a thumbnail as well. So this actually rings true with the first time that I actually saw Santa Muerte in real life. So the first time I actually built an altar to La Santa Muerte here in this apartment a few years ago, I had my curtains blacked out. Like my windows are blacked out now, but they weren't always like that. And when I first set up that altar, it wasn't like that. So I had like the street lights from outside. I had blinds up, but you could see, light would come in. So the night that I set up the altars specifically for La Santa Muerte and only La Santa Muerte, that altar, that night when I was going to sleep, I actually turned and looked towards the altar, and there was a figure there. It was like a shadow, like it was a figure like draped in cloth, and it was like blacker than black. It was like super dark. It was I couldn't see any facial features. It was just like void, like dead, blacker than dark. I don't know how to say it besides that way. But as I saw it, I kind of freaked out. I was like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? Like at that time I was still hadn't seen anything like that before. At least not in my house. You know what I'm saying? I've seen shadow people in the graveyards and stuff like that. That was something I've seen since I was a kid. But this was in my house, and it was not just shadow. It was like dark shadow, like void. It was like a doorway. You know what I'm saying? And so I think this is the first time that I kind of got the idea without even knowing it at the time. But she was showing me that she is actually a doorway into the night side. So the Aztec death underworld is it's a night realm. As I've spoken before, I don't know if on my TikTok you've seen it, or if I've spoken about it on my channel, that you have the El Disco de la Muerte, which is the Aztec, the dark sun of the Aztec underworld, or the black sun of the Aztec underworld. So whenever the sun sets on this plane for us, the sun sets, it rises in the Aztec underworld, right? And then as it sets in the Aztec underworld, it rises here, and there's Aztec human sacrifice and all kinds of stuff like that to get the sun to rise and stuff. But that's other aspects that are deeper. But basically, it is a night realm, and it's powerful, and it's like a night side realm. You know what I'm saying? So it was like just void darkness, and so I've been there before in another meditation. It was kind of the same kind of a flip kind of happens, which is very interesting that this happened with this meditation as well. But yeah, I mean, I think that's basically everything I wanted to share. But yeah, like I said, I wanted to share it, man. I wanted to put it in the book, but I didn't think enough people would get the information as fast as she wanted the information put out there. Because basically, like I said, I was sitting around, and she was just like, I was thinking about it, and I asked her just a little while ago. I was like, should I put this out? She's like, yes. She's like, do it now. I was like, okay. So that's what I'm doing now. I know I'm going to catch some shit for this. I know people are going to disagree with that. Hey, man, that's totally cool. Everybody can disagree with it. If it works for you, awesome. I think this is basically going to open a whole new way of working with La Santa Muerte and the Aztec underworld that I hope will benefit everybody. I hope you can start seeing great advancements in your magic. You know, just like maybe shadow work. I know Santa Muerte is really good with shadow work. All kinds of stuff you can do with these entities. You know. I've made about 3 or 4 videos. I don't remember if I mentioned in this video yet, but I'm going to, in my book, I'm going to have like, I've channeled some vampiric techniques on how to drain energetic bodies. Because there's vampires in the Aztec underworld, and I've learned like other stuff, like actually some crazy shit, you know what I'm saying, that I've learned from working with this system. So I'm going to share all of that in the book. So yeah, if you like the video, but I mean, hold on. But yeah, that's all I got to say. I think about that. I'm gonna watch this video again. If there's anything else I need to add, you won't see this shit. But if you're seeing this was it. But if you like this video, share it with your friends. If you hate it, share it with your enemies. Later.